What if we told you Donald Trump could become the President of the United States again? Yes, you heard it right. The 45th president, known for his distinctive style and unfiltered rhetoric, may once again find himself at the helm of the nation. Intriguing, isn't it? The U.S. Constitution has some interesting rules when it comes to presidential terms. While it limits a president to 2 terms in office, it doesn't specifically bar a president from serving non-consecutive terms. This means that a former president, after a break, can theoretically run for the office again. A precedent was set by Grover Cleveland, the only president so far to serve non-consecutive terms, becoming the 22nd and 24th president of the United States. Now let's turn our attention back to Donald Trump. Since leaving office in January 2021, Trump has made several public statements hinting at a potential run for the presidency in the next election cycle. His continued influence within the Republican Party and his massive supporter base certainly make this a possibility. But what does this mean for the United States and the rest of the world? The potential of a second Trump term surely raises questions about the direction of American policy, both domestically and internationally. Will it be a continuation of his first-term policies, or would we see a new approach? And of course, there are questions about the impact on America's relationships with other nations. Will it be America first all over again, or could we see a more cooperative approach to international relations? And what about the pressing issues of our time, like climate change, racial justice, and public health? These questions, and many more, are worth considering as we contemplate the possibility of another Trump presidency. After all, in the world of politics, anything can happen. It's a world where the unexpected often becomes the reality. So let's delve into the potential implications of a second Trump term. To understand the potential future, we must first revisit the past. Let's take a step back and remind ourselves of the whirlwind that was Donald Trump's first term as President of the United States. In the 4 years from 2017 to 2021, Trump's presidency was marked by a series of significant policies, controversies, and achievements. Economically, his administration enacted significant tax cuts and deregulation, leading to a surge in the stock market and low unemployment rates prior to the pandemic. However, critics argue these policies disproportionately benefited the wealthy and increased the national debt. On the international stage, Trump adopted an America First policy. This led to a withdrawal from several international agreements, such as the Paris Climate Accord and the Iran nuclear deal, and a shift towards unilateralism. His unconventional diplomacy, seen through his relationship with North Korea, was lauded by some as groundbreaking, while others deemed it dangerous. Immigration was another key issue, with the introduction of the controversial zero-tolerance policy, leading to family separations at the border. The building of the southern border wall, a key campaign promise, was also initiated, although completion remains elusive. In terms of social issues, Trump's presidency was marked by a deepening divide. His handling of the racial tensions following the death of George Floyd, his impeachment over accusations of pressuring Ukraine to investigate political rival Joe Biden, and his response to the COVID-19 pandemic were all contentious and polarizing topics. Trump's first term was certainly eventful, marked by a series of highs and lows. The impact on the nation and world was significant, with his policies and actions reshaping the political landscape in ways that are still being felt today. Now, with that foundation, we can explore what a second term might look like. Imagine a world where Donald Trump returns to the Oval Office. In this hypothetical scenario, let's consider the potential outcomes of a second Trump term. Given his previous presidency, we could reasonably expect a continuation of his policies. This could mean further tax cuts, deregulation, and a potential push for an isolationist foreign policy. On the domestic front, we might anticipate a resurgence of the America First doctrine, with a focus on domestic manufacturing and energy production. This could lead to a potential boom in these sectors, but could also mean heightened tensions with international trading partners. In terms of social policy, a second Trump administration may continue its hardline stance on immigration and enhance border security measures. The reaction to this would likely be divisive, with some sectors of society applauding the move while others protest against it. On the global stage, we might see a continuation of Trump's unorthodox diplomatic approach. This could potentially lead to unpredictable situations, given his penchant for direct negotiations with foreign leaders and his dismissal of traditional diplomatic protocols. The international community would likely have mixed reactions, with some countries appreciating his straightforward approach and others finding it destabilizing. In the realm of environmental policy, it's plausible that a second Trump term would see a further rollback of regulations related to climate change. This could provoke strong reactions from environmental activists and potentially strain relations with countries committed to the Paris Agreement. A second Trump term could also see a shift in Supreme Court appointments, potentially solidifying a conservative majority for decades to come. This could have far-reaching implications for issues like abortion rights, gun control, and healthcare. In the financial realm, we might see a continuation of Trump's deregulatory policies, potentially leading to a more laissez-faire economic environment. The impact of this on the economy would be a topic of intense debate. Of course, these are all hypothetical scenarios based on Trump's first term in office. As with any presidency, the potential outcomes are wide-ranging and unpredictable. So, how might a second Trump term compare to his first? That's a question many of us wonder. Let's delve into the possibilities. In his first term, Trump led with a style that was undeniably his own. Unfiltered, direct, and often controversial, he made decisions that rattled the status quo. His business-oriented approach to governance led to significant tax cuts, deregulation, and a focus on American manufacturing. However, his stance on issues like immigration and climate change sparked widespread debate and criticism. If Trump were to secure a second term, we might expect a continuation of his signature policies. Yet, would the experiences from his first term influence his approach? It's plausible. Leaders often evolve in their second terms, learning from past successes and failures. Trump might adopt a more tempered approach, or he could double down on his unconventional style. A potential second term could see shifts in policy. Trump's first term was marked by an America First ideology. This might remain, but with a nuanced understanding of global interdependence. The world has changed since his first term, and the challenges we face, from pandemics to climate change, require coordinated global responses. Public reaction would undoubtedly be mixed. Trump's first term polarized opinions, and a second term would likely do the same. However, the extent and nature of this polarization could differ, influenced by the lessons learned and changes made since his first term. In terms of international relations, a second Trump presidency could be a game changer. Allies and adversaries alike would have a clearer understanding of Trump's approach and could adjust their strategies accordingly. This could lead to new alliances, strained relations, or a reshuffling of global power dynamics. While we can speculate, the true impact of a second Trump term would only be known in hindsight. Regardless of what might happen, it's crucial to remember that the future is not set in stone. It is shaped by countless variables, including the decisions we make as citizens, the actions of our leaders, and the unpredictable nature of world events. The possibility of a Trump return to the White House is not out of the question. It's a thought that has stirred numerous discussions, debates, and even controversies. But the objective here is not to speculate, but to analyze the potential implications should this scenario unfold. Looking back at Trump's first term, we've seen a presidency that was anything but conventional. His policies and decisions, from tax cuts to immigration reforms, from climate change to international relations, stirred a whirlwind of reactions, both within the country and globally. His approach to leadership, often labeled as unpredictable, had significant impact on various sectors of society, economy, and diplomacy. Now, let's imagine, hypothetically, that Trump gets another 4 years in the Oval Office. The potential outcomes of this scenario could be as multifaceted as his first term. On one hand, we could see a continuation of his previous policies, with an emphasis on economic growth, deregulation, and a more isolationist approach to international relations. On the other hand, we could witness a shift in his strategies, prompted by the lessons learned during his first term or influenced by the changing global and domestic landscape. When comparing these two terms, it's crucial to remember that no two presidencies are the same, even when they belong to the same individual. Each term is shaped by a unique set of circumstances, challenges, and opportunities. A second Trump term would not be a mere repetition of the first, but an entirely new chapter, with its own ups and downs, victories, and setbacks. Whether this potential chapter would be beneficial or detrimental for America and the world, is a question that remains open to interpretation. It largely depends on one's political leanings, personal beliefs, and how one perceives Trump's leadership style. No matter what the future holds, it's clear that another Trump presidency would be a significant chapter in American history. Regardless of your opinion on the matter, it's undeniable that such a prospect would have profound implications on various aspects of life, from